Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Alicia here, and today, guys, a new bombshell has entered the villa. I am finally on the Love Island train, and so we are reviewing Love Island USA Season 7, Episode 1, y'all. Let's get into it. So I am now a Peacock girly, and guys, I may have been asleep on Peacock because they have all the Real Housewives and stuff. I was wondering where people were watching that at. They have, of course, the Love Islands. I did not realize that there were so many different versions of Love Island. This is going to be a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen it and you want to see it play out, go watch it and then come back and let's discuss. So we get the, I want to say character intros so bad, but we get the cast intros. So we've got Taylor first. He is a cowboy, and of course it opens up with like a dance sequence as everybody is making their way to the island. So everybody is jamming, you know, having a good time, and like we kind of pause on each person. So Taylor is first. He's a cowboy. Yulissa is next, then Austin, then Huda. She said Huda, like coulda, woulda, shoulda, so Huda. Then Ace, who has a beautiful tattoo of this boy looking at this lion, and his tattoos are kind of almost like a mural, like very, very nice. And everybody's like gorgeous, like besides Austin and Yulissa, but that's kind of tainted by like what we found out about them on social media. But also kind of not really, I don't know. Austin is just one of those faces. I feel like you either love it or it's not your type. And that's just not my vibe. Then we have Olandria. My girl is stunning, and she's from Decatur, Alabama, period. Then we have Nick. He gives me golden retriever vibes, but not in a bad way. Just very much so like when you have like the black cat FMC and like the golden retriever MMC, like that's what he gives. And then we have Shelly, very stunning. Then we have Jeremiah. He's also very handsome. Very handsome. Not too much, since I do have a husband, you know, that's always going to be the most stunning, the most handsome man in my eyes. But hey. And then we have Bella, like Belle-A, but it's pronounced Bella. She's also very pretty. Low-key, the intro dance scene was given High School Musical. Not in a bad way, but just in a very like, the way it was high energy, the way everybody had very obviously like choreographed numbers. And then we are at Fiji for season 7, very beautiful. They explain the process. So if you're like me, you've never seen Love Island before and you kind of only ever seen people's recaps, this is a 6-week long process. I'm assuming the episodes drop every week until we get to the end. And then this season they added a sauna, a photo booth, and a speakeasy. So Shelly and Olandria, they come into the villa first. I already know that these two I'm gonna be rooting for, because just their energy, their vibe, their taste in fashion, like they obviously know what looks good on them and they play into that, because every outfit that I saw them in was eating. The way they talk to each other automatically said yes, exactly. The protective styles, yes, exactly. Shelly is 27. She's a day trader and she lives in New York. She says she's an open book and that she doesn't want to label herself, but she has dated both guys and girls before, but as of right now, she's looking at just the guys. Then we have Olandria. She is from Alabama. Shelly was born in Miami. Olandria loves a southern country man who likes to get his hands dirty but is also a gentleman. And she is 27, works in the elevator escalator industry. She's from Decatur and she cooks very well, believes the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Most of the time it is. She's a first-gen college student and went to Tuskegee, period. Okay, so Huda walks in next. Her dress, that red dress that she was wearing when she first walked in, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. She is another one where I feel like she knows what looks good on her and she plays into that. She's also one that I said I'm almost immediately invested. Like, I feel like Huda, Olandria, and Shelly are gonna probably be my top 3 favorites. Huda is 24. She's from Raleigh, North Carolina, and is a fitness coach, and I can absolutely tell by the body. She likes cutesy things, and she does have a daughter, so she is a single mom. She grew up in a Middle Eastern family, and her mom taught her self-confidence, and she doesn't want a man who texts multiple women. I understand that. I feel that, period. She wants to wait, because she does tell Olandria and Shelly that she has a daughter, but she lets them know that she wants to wait to tell her connection that she has a daughter when she feels comfortable enough that connection is all in with her and not just kind of messing around. Because I get that a child, period, is something that you don't really play about, and you want to make sure that that other person is invested, maybe not all in, but definitely invested in you before you take it to the next level and kind of reveal more of your personal life. So I completely understand that. Yulissa and Bella are next. Bella is 22. She was born in Oregon and then moved to Hawaii, and she is happy and upbeat, definitely. Her ex left her in their long distance relationship, and she usually goes for nonchalant guys but wants a man that is very chalant. She wants the man to love her out loud, and period. Yulissa was in a 9-year relationship with no ring. Okay, and then he left her for another girl. That's diabolical. She's 27. She has a mobile bar, and she lives in Miami, Florida, and is 4'10". The swimsuit that she was wearing, the starfish and the seashell, it did eat. Then the host comes in. The host is Ariana Madix. She's stunning. She's stunning. Outfit was tea. Body was tea. Intro song tea. I said period. Period. That's how you introduce a show host. So Olandria lets us know that her longest relationship was 3 years. And she worries that she overhealed because now she immediately cuts people off instead of allowing them to kind of make mistakes and try to correct them before she cuts people off. So she's going to be working on that during her time in the villa. Yulissa says that she feels like she lost herself in that 9-year relationship, and so she kind of took a journey to find herself, and she feels like now she has found herself and she's ready to be with somebody new. Bella has only had 1 relationship, but she feels like she's an old soul and wants someone who wants a future. Intention is going to be very big for her, it sounds like. Huda loves really pretty men who are also in the gym. Okay. Shelly, personality wise, her type is you walk into the room and your aura kind of speaks for you, and also that you're genuine, you're romantic. Chivalry is going to be big for her, like open the door. She shouldn't have to touch the door handle, whether that's a car, whether that's the entrance to a building, the entrance to a restaurant, whatever. And you should be walking on the side with the traffic. Then the men begin to arrive. The golden retriever, at first I couldn't remember his name, but it is Nick, comes in on a motorbike. I said, I was right. Listen, those golden retriever MMCs in the books, you think they're sweet and they get around their woman, and all of a sudden there's a little spice to go with that sweetness, and that's what Nick is giving. Like, the more we see of him throughout this episode, the more I'm like, yeah. Ace and Nick walk in together and the women are gagged. The women are gagged, and I can't say I blame them, because Nick wearing that all black suit and Ace wearing that all white suit, I feel like they also know what looks good on them and lean into that, and I can never be mad at a man who knows how to dress. Ace and Shelly end up, it's revealed that they know each other, kind of, sort of, like they're not like friends or anything. They met in New York outside of a club, and like they started to talk a little bit through Instagram, but it never really went anywhere because he lives in LA and she lives in, where does she live at? She doesn't live in LA, and I can't remember where she lived at, but so they didn't want to do the long distance thing or anything like that. But both of them kind of feel like it's fate that they are now reunited on Love Island, and I kind of feel like it is too. Like, you could tell the chemistry was there. Ace says he wants somebody that's family oriented, someone he can fall deeper in love with, And like the more he talks, the more I'm like, this is kind of what Shelly was looking for. He's 22. He has 6 siblings, and all of his siblings are tatted on his body, which I thought was sweet. He says that people think that he's a player, but he's really a lover man at heart. And he is 5'10", but he does not mind going for the taller women. Nick is 24, and he's joking with Bella kind of right off the bat. Him and Bella kind of have a little vibe going. I said, okay, I can kind of see it. But he likes physical touch and quality time because he felt like in his previous relationships, he wasn't getting the attention that he really wanted. He is a registered nurse. Period, Nick. Period. He wants someone to take care of. I said, he loves new experiences, and he's been to 47 countries, and he's just seen so many different women during his travels that now he's very open-minded, and he's more on, do we align on personality as opposed to like, I'm just looking for aesthetically this one or these few things. And he does admit that he likes a little bit of toxicity, just enough just enough to keep him on the ride, not too much to push him off the roller coaster, but just enough to where he can stay in line. Next we have Taylor, and Ian's commentary of Taylor's walk cracked me up because Taylor walks in and Ian is like, here comes Taylor, who acts like he's never walked a day in his life. And I was weak because as soon as he said that I could see it. But Taylor is, like I said, he is country. He's from Oklahoma. He's 24 and a rodeo competitor, which is really cool. He's currently in vet school because he's seen his grandfather taking care of his pets, and that kind of made him want to be a veterinarian with a focus on horses because he currently has 4. And the way that his face lights up when he talks about those horses, yeah, Taylor is true to this, not new to this. He says a red flag for him is ugly feet. Because if you can't take care of your feet, how are you going to take care of him? As you know, they're all talking around. Shelly is like, she did not realize that ponies are real. The scream, I scrumped when Shelly said that, because when Taylor was talking about his ponies, he does something with like pony races. And so Shelly was like, as you're talking about the ponies, all I can think about is My Little Pony. I was dead. I had to pause the episode, y'all. I was laughing so hard. Jeremiah and Austin are the last to come in. Jeremiah was cracking me up because why was he rubbing his hands? Austin he calls himself a pool boy, but he's actually a pool technician. He's 26. He's from Michigan. And the more he talks, the more it just gives player, because he's talking about how, you know, he's seen so many beautiful women in his line of work, and that, you know, he has all these different moves that he can put on the women that he finds interesting, and that his boss kind of gets in the way when he's trying to shoot his shot with these women, but he likes it better when his manager is not there, because then he can openly flirt and woo these women without having to worry about professionalism. That's what that's what it was given when he was talking. Jeremiah, he's 25. He is a model and a caterer, and he lives in LA, and he's a nerd and a bookworm. I hope at some point they get to talk about like what kind of books he really likes to read. You know, but then he kind of ruined it a little bit, because he said on a scale of like F-boy to good guy, he's 3/4 of the way towards good guy. And then he said that he did cheat in his previous relationship, but you live and you learn, and that's why he is here now. And I kind of wish he would have gone more in depth on like maybe the work that he's done, so that he no longer feels the desire to cheat. You know, like what internal work did you do so that you no longer make those same mistakes. So we start our first coupling, guys. So one by one, the girls will choose the boy that they want to couple up with. So they have to pick 2 boys to kiss, and then depending on how those 2 kisses went, they will pick that final guy that they really want to couple up with. And then when the next girl goes, if she kisses the guy that you're already paired up with, she can steal him from you, and then now you're out of luck. But first we have Shelly, and she teases walking like back and forth in front of all the men, but she finally settles on Austin. Boo, but whatever. Even though the kiss was kind of hot. The kiss was kind of hot. And then she goes up to Ace. I don't know about y'all, but the chemistry between them was jumping out of my screen. Okay, I was like, golly, like she's obviously gonna pick Ace. And I was correct. Then Huda is next. She plays around by doing kind of the same thing that Shelly did, walking back and forth, but she kisses Jeremiah first. Baby, as soon as as their lips became unlocked, Huda was gagged. That kiss was good. Like, you could tell she didn't want to go anywhere. She didn't want to go anywhere else. I know that's right. But she does end up going to Ace and kisses him. I said, okay. Okay, so Ace and Jeremiah, they do have a similar vibe. I'll say that. They have a similar vibe about them. So I could see why she would be attracted to both of them. But the girlies are liking Ace. Like, the girlies are liking Ace. But Huda does choose Jeremiah to couple up with. Bella is next. I kind of see her with Nick. I could. But then I also kind of feel like the vibe that Nick was putting out and the way he was kind of looking at Olandria when he first walked in, I could kind of see Nick with Bella or Olandria. I'm seeing it for both. But Bella kisses Taylor and she kisses both of them on the cheek. So Bella kisses Taylor, which is our resident country boy, and then she kisses Nick. And she does this because, you know, she's got a strict no kiss on the first date rule. And, you know, we respect it. Bella couples up with Nick. Olandria is next. Now, keep in mind, before they start to pick the men, she had just been telling the girls that she really wants, like, she loves a country man down. Taylor walked in and that man is country from his head to his toes. So I was like, Olandria, you said you wanted somebody country. I need to see you kissing Taylor. And she does. Baby, Taylor was trying to eat Olandria off the bone. After that kiss, Taylor was smitten. Taylor was smitten and Olandria was feeling it. She was feeling it. But then she goes and she kisses Nick. And I said, I knew it. But she does ultimately pick Taylor just because, like she had probably said before, she really likes the country boy vibe because she is a Southern belle. But I could see maybe later down the line, if she decides to, you know, explore her connections, maybe she and Nick can kind of see what's going on there. I don't know. Yulissa is next. And remember, she can steal any one of the guys that are already partnered up. And I was like, girl, please do not touch Olandria, Huda, or Shelly's men. Go for somebody else. Because these are my top three. And I feel like that the men that they partnered up with, they had the most chemistry with as of day one. But no. So Yulissa kisses Ace immediately. And baby, that kiss was long. Like, that kiss was so long that everybody else was like, dang. Like, you don't want to go ahead and wrap this up? Now, Yulissa was fully invested in that kiss. But Ace, when the kiss ends, I feel like Ace was not feeling that kiss. Meanwhile, Shelly, while the kiss was going on, she was low-key getting pissed. I could see it in her face. She wanted to frown so bad, but she remembered that the cameras were on her, so she kept that professional smile on her face, but she was annoyed. You could tell she was annoyed. And honestly, I would be annoyed too, because why are you kissing my man for that long? And then she moves on from Ace and she's walking towards Jeremiah, and Jeremiah's like, I'll just kiss you on your cheek. And so, you know, Yulissa's like, that's fine because we respect people's boundaries, period. So she kisses Jeremiah on the cheek and then she walks away, and Shelly, you know, sees that Jeremiah put his foot down and she's kind of like, oh. And Ace absolutely did not. And Ace is like, I messed up. You did, because you could have cut that kiss off. And of course, Austin is mad on the far end, because after I think Shelly kissed him, nobody else really kissed him. So Yulissa picks Ace with her messy self. And Ace is like, yay. I'm sorry, when you compare his chemistry with Shelly, with his chemistry with Yulissa, he obviously liked and was feeling Shelly better. And I don't know if that's just because they had a little bit more history, or maybe she's more his type. Either way, he was just feeling Shelly a little bit more, but he kept it cute. Shelly by default goes to Austin because everybody else is paired up. She did kiss Austin, so she kind of jokes that maybe this is a sign that she needs to, basically implying that, you know, not to pursue Ace. And when she says that, Ace is annoyed because you can see on his face like, whoa, Savannah, slow down. Then, you know, we get all the official couples and the height differences in everybody, period. So everybody's coupled off. They're all going off to chat. And Austin opens the door for Shelly, which is just what she wants. And she peeps that and she says, period. So Shelly, Austin, and Jeremiah and Huda, they are touring the villa together. And they're just like taking it all in, talking about how beautiful it is. They're going to pop in the photo booth a little bit. And you can just tell that Huda and Jeremiah are feeling the chemistry between each other. Like, they are both so cute. Like, their connection just gives me like, you know, like, already it's giving cute. Olandria and Taylor, they're talking. They have good chemistry, but I'm not hearing anything to fully sell me on it just yet. Like, besides their obvious, you know, Southern connection, I'm not seeing the kind of chemistry that I'm seeing with like Huda and Jeremiah. I feel like out of everybody, they are probably the most connected couple chemistry wise. Austin and Shelly, they're talking. Shelly asks if the roles were reversed and it was the guys who had to go up and kiss two girls, who would he kiss? And he says he would kiss her and Bella. Ace and Yulissa are talking. I can see more chemistry on Ulissa's side than Ace's side, even though he's being polite, but he's not really, like, his body language doesn't say completely engaged. Ace's middle name is Steve, and then Yulissa was kind of slick. I peeped it though when he was like, you know, what's your middle name? Yulissa says she doesn't have one, so she asked the question back, and Ace says, my middle name is Steve because my grandpa's name was Steve, I guess. And she's like, oh, I was not expecting you to say Steve. And like, he laughs it off, and she says, you know, I was expecting Ace, like Ventura. Nick and Bella are talking, and you can kind of tell that Nick is a little bit not closed off, but he's probably not as open as Bella is wanting. In his confessional, he does say he wants to get a kiss, it's like a real kiss, out of Bella, but he'll just see how they progress. But he still wants to talk to the other girls and kind of get to know them. I kind of agree. Like, I feel like those two together, they're just a little bit awkward right now. Huda and Jeremiah are talking. Again, the chemistry is leaping off the screen. I love them together. They're so cute. And she says that she's getting Young Love vibes. I can see that. Then the girls and the guys split off, and the girls are in the like makeup room, and Olandria, Huda, and Shelly are hyping up Ace's connection to Shelly. And like, you can tell Ulissa's getting a little bit annoyed by that. All the girls kind of agree that like it is day one, and you know, don't be sneaky, but we're all kind of expecting to be able to go out and kind of pursue all the connections, not just the one that we currently have. And Shelly says that Ace is still at the top of her list. And then we get to the nighttime. I'm seeing the bonnets, the makeup wipes, period. Nobody is really cuddling until we get to Bella and Nick. They are cuddling a little bit. Baby Jeremiah and Huda, they were full on making out. And it's crazy because I did not realize that they were sleeping. Like, I thought the girls would be sleeping in one villa or one bedroom, and then the guys would all be sleeping in another bedroom. But no, they're all like, the couples are sleeping in the same bed, and they're all sleeping in the same bedroom. So like, I know that Jeremiah and Huda had to be quiet, but I'm just like, oh, y'all are attracted to each other. Okay. So the boys are making breakfast. We only see Nick give Bella, I'm assuming it's a peanut butter toast. It didn't look like a sandwich. and I didn't see any jelly, so I'm just assuming it was a peanut butter. It's just peanut butter toast. I don't really know. But they were also kind of struggling with turning on the stove, so maybe they just kind of gave up on like making breakfast and tried to find stuff that they could just do, like that didn't have to be cooked. Nick lets us know that he is definitely interested in Olandria. I knew it. Austin pulls Shelly for a chat. I see his tattoo. Who is the woman on the side of his stomach? Austin is very interested in Shelly. Shelly says she wants somebody ambitious and someone who values marriage. I do like that he said that he wants like organized chaos, and he wants you to be able to feel the love in the air when you walk into their house. Between these two, I'm not seeing any like romantic chemistry. I'm getting good friends. Huda and Jeremiah are talking about their housing, like their living situation. Huda is saying that, you know, she has a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And Jeremiah's like, oh, who's the other bedroom for? Is that like your office? And then Huda's like, I'll tell you later. And Jeremiah's like, pause. Pause. Who is the other bedroom for? And like, she's like laughing it off, not saying anything. And you can tell like it's starting to bother Jeremiah because like, no, for real, who is the other bedroom for? And you can tell that it low-key puts a damper on their connection just a little bit. Ace pulls Shelly for a chat. And Yulissa is not feeling that. Like, you can look at her face, she is not feeling that at all. But the way that Ace, the way his body language is when he's speaking to Shelly, you can just tell that the man is more invested. And like the way like he's smiling and like he's just more engaged when they're talking. And like you can also kind of see the fact that like Shelly is more engaged. Like they're sitting closer, she's leaning forward a little bit sometimes, like, and their banter, like it's a little smoother. And it's giving more romantic than her connection with Austin and his connection with Yulissa. So the boys are messing around, cracking me up. Shelly says that, you know, she realizes that a conversation might need to be had between her and Yulissa because it sounded like, you know, she's gearing up to start pursuing Ace. And I said, go for it. Ariana comes in. So they were having a party. Everybody's looking very, very good. They're dancing. They're having a good time. Ariana comes in. Ian's commentary once again cracks me up. She brings everybody to the fire pit and she lets them know that if they're not happy with their couples, they have a chance to shake things up just a little bit. They are all sitting in a circle. They put on these blindfolds, right? And Ariana has them raise their hand if they want to kiss somebody that's not their current partner. We have Ace, Olandria, Nick, and Shelly are the only 4 people that raise their hand because they want to kiss somebody else. So Nick goes first. He immediately goes to Olandria. Immediately. And the way he was kissing this girl down, I said, yeah. Nick saw Olandria and said, yeah. Shelly goes next. She immediately goes to Ace. We knew that though. And the way that they were kissing, I said, yeah. Ace says the kiss feels very familiar because again, they don't know who is kissing them because everybody else has blindfolds on and like they go one at a time. So when Nick went, everybody had blindfolds on except for him. As soon as he sits down, his blindfold goes back on. When Shelly got up, you know, she took hers off, and that's how everybody's doing it. Olandria goes next, and she kisses Ace. I was not expecting that. I said, dang, the girlies really like Ace. I don't think she kissed anybody but Ace. Or at least that's all I have written down, so. Ace goes last. He immediately goes to Shelly, and once again, the kiss was just popping. Oh my goodness. He tilts her head up. Oh, please, please. Chemistry insane. But then he goes to Huda and kisses her too. I was not expecting that. But then 2 new bombshells enter the villa, okay? We have Charlie, he is from the UK, and then we have Sierra, she's 25 from Arizona. While everybody still has their blindfolds on, right? Charlie goes first, and he's kissing all the women in the circle. I feel like he was super into Olandria and Huda because his kisses with them were just Stevie. And then Sierra goes next. And like, at first I was like, oh, okay, she must be really into him. But no, she's just a great kisser. Like, she low-key, all the men were melting. Low-key, all the men were melting as she kissed them. So I don't know who she's really into. So then the bombshells, they go into the hideaway while Ariana tells everybody else to like lift their blindfolds. Their secret is safe on who they decided to kiss unless they want to be the ones to come out and say it. But she does reveal that 2 new bombshells have entered the villa, and raise your hand if you want to, like, they put their blindfolds back on. And so she's like, raise your hand if you want to get to know either of the 2 new bombshells. And that's where the episode ends. And then we get a preview for tomorrow night. I was wondering why people did that. Now I know. So already, I feel like we're off to, as somebody again who has never watched Love Island, I feel like we are off to a very strong start. That is all I have for you guys. Let me know, are you watching season 7? Please say yes, so I'm not watching this by myself. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this first episode. Are we feeling it? Are we thinking, it's not living up to season 6 hype? I'll just believe y'all if y'all say that, because again, I haven't seen season 6 yet. But thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it, and I will see y'all in my next one. Bye, guys.